Very good morning to one and all. Welcome to the learning platform for physics, Physics with KRR. Today we are going to discuss system of particles and rigid body dynamics from class 11th syllabus. So this is for NEET 2020 aspirants, those who revising all the concepts and formulae related to particular chapter. So here I am going to discuss the system of particles and rigid body dynamics in a quick manner to recall the concept and important points and important formulae which are useful for solving the numericals. So this is not for a class 11th students, those who are pursuing now. So this is for already studied students, those who want to recall the concept and formula in a short manner. So for those students, this is going to be useful to recall all the concepts and the formula. Now, so here these are the concepts from the chapter of system of particles and rigid body dynamics. So in NEET examination, they will ask 3 questions. They have been asking 3 questions. Also in future also we may expect in 2020 also we may expect 3 questions from the chapter of system of particles and rotational motion or rigid body dynamics. So here the system of particles consists of 3 parts. So first part is related to center of mass related concepts. Next, rotational dynamics. So torque, these are all will consist of in rotational dynamics. And then moment of inertia. Moment of inertia related things. So based on this moment of inertia, we can call it rolling motion. So whatever may be the question paper in the NEET examination, they will ask 1 question from the topic of rolling motion. So that is a very small area from the chapter of rolling motion, but they have been asking the question from this part of the chapter. Now here, the center of mass, moment of inertia, and rotational dynamics related. So those rotational dynamics we can learn easily by comparing with translatory motion, the chapter of motion in a straight line. So in NTA National Test Abhyas papers, what they provided for practicing for the examination in this pandemic situation. So in those papers also they given many questions from the chapter from the topic of rotational dynamics. So rotational dynamics is somewhat easy when you compare those parameters with linear motion. Linear motion, that is in the case of motion in a straight line, equation of kinematic equation of motion. So there we have to compare those equations with that. We can easily understand those topics if you solve the numericals related to the motion in a straight line related to kinematic equations. Okay. So now from every part, that means the center of mass, moment of inertia, rolling motion area. So that rolling motion, most of the cases, rolling motion related formulas are formulae will depends on moment of inertia related things. So if you know the moment of inertia of all the different geometrical structures, then we can able to solve the numericals related to rolling motion. Okay, right. So now center of mass. So in center of mass concept we have, so these are the following subtopics from the center of mass. First we have to study position of center of mass, how to locate the position of the center of mass in the case of isolated body or in the case of arrangement of different bodies. And then motion of center of mass. So in motion of center of mass, velocity of center of mass, linear momentum of center of mass, acceleration of the center of mass. So first we have to concentrate on position or location of the center of mass of isolated bodies and different arrangement of bodies. And then motion of center of mass, which may be velocity of center of mass, linear momentum of center of mass, and acceleration of the center of mass. And then shift in center of mass. So by adding or subtraction of the some amount of mass from the given isolated system or any combination of bodies, when you remove one of the part of the system, how the center of mass will changes. That is called shift in center of mass by addition of masses by removal of masses. So this removal of masses is very important in the case of shift in center of mass. And methods, so we have different methods to locate the center of mass in an easy manner. So here the most important one from this is method of decomposition. So here we will decompose a given structure into different parts, and every part we need to locate the center of mass. Then later we need to apply center of mass formula to calculate location of the center of mass. So location of the center of mass with the method of decomposition is very important than all these cases. So method of integration and differentiation we will get in the case of different shapes. Okay, so different shapes of materials are there. So there we have to find the center of mass of the system. And then cross product. So in NEET examination, 2 times they asked directly, they given the question from this cross product, but we discussed this concept in the chapter of motion in a plane. There also we discussed. In general, scalar product and cross product both will be present in the motion in a plane, but in some cases while solving the numericals related to the system of particles and work for energy chapter, so here cross product applications are there in the chapter of system of particles. That is the reason. So we will discuss that cross product again in the chapter of system of particles and rotational motion. In the same manner, scalar product. So scalar product also will use in the chapter of work energy power. So that is the reason in the chapter of work energy power we will discuss dot product or scalar product. The chapter of system of particles will discuss cross product. So this we may consider related to system of particles chapter. Dot product we will consider in the chapter of as a part of work energy power chapter. So here kinematic rotational motions, as usual in the case of motion is straight line, and torque. So torque and moment of force. Torque and moment of. So applications of cross product will give to torque and couple and all will be there. So in that case we will use the cross product application. So there, so torque related torque is nothing but application of cross product they will give. Under that they ask the question in the NEET examination. Right, angular momentum, these are all we have. So angular momentum and conservation of angular momentum. So this is the most important area from the rotational dynamics subtopic. So conservation of angular momentum and law of conservation of angular momentum is the most important area from the subtopic of rotational dynamics. Okay. Next, moment of inertia. Here we have different shapes. Moment of inertia of disc, rod, solid sphere, hollow sphere, solid cylinder, hollow cylinder. So this moment of inertia expressions directly they won't ask in the examination, but they will ask applications while solving the numericals. This knowing the formula of moment of inertia will be helpful for solving the numericals. So for that reason we need to know the moment of inertia of the different shapes. We have one shortcut method to identify the formula related to moment of inertia of different shapes. So later we will discuss while discussion of the moment of inertia concept. So that for moment of inertia concept we will use we will find by using these two theorems, that is parallel axis theorem and perpendicular axis theorem. Okay, right. So moment of inertia, this is, and based on the moment of inertia only this rolling motion related formulas will depend. So here P rolling. So this is total energy, total kinetic energy of the rolling body. Rolling body is a part of kinetic energy, and it means translational plus rotational kinetic energy both will combine in the case of rolling motion. So this is the very most important area. Most of the times they ask the question related to the concept of rolling motion on this topic, total kinetic energy of a rolling body. Okay, so these are the different topics where we have to concentrate more. If any student face difficulty while preparation of this, is very big chapter from the first part of the, it means volume 1 in CBSE syllabus, from volume 1. So this is the biggest chapter. So that is the reason they have been asking 3 questions from this chapter. So if anybody is not able to prepare the entire chapter, so at least we have to prepare the center of mass basic model of numericals, cross product, this torque and moment of inertia, torque and moment of couple, that is called mechanical equilibrium of rigid body, moment of couple, and conservation of angular momentum and law of angular momentum and conservation of angular momentum. So this is very difficult, but we have one shortcut to remember the formula, then we can do. Okay, so later rolling motion. So rolling motion is a very small part of the chapter. So everybody has to prepare this rolling motion, then you can able to answer at least 1 question. Out of 3 questions from the rolling motion, they will give 1 question. And so by concentrating on basic model of center of mass and cross product, torque, moment of couple, and angular momentum and conservation of angular momentum. So based on that area, if they ask the question, means you can able to answer at least 2 questions from this chapter. And then so as if they want to give 3 questions from the chapter, so they have been giving, so like 1 question is somewhat easy manner, 1 question is moderate question, and another question is very somewhat difficult questions they may ask. So if that is the reason, so this is not time for going for preparation of the difficult questions. So we need to concentrate on those. So then if you are concentrating on these topics, we can able to answer 2 questions from the chapter of system of particles and rotational dynamics. Okay, right. So we'll discuss first center of mass. Okay, right. Center of mass. So center of mass, the basic concept, center of mass of system of particles depends on mass of the particle, and their relative positions from the axis of rotations. And center of mass is the distribution of mass. For a distribution of mass, center of mass depends on mass distribution and shape of the body. So basic questions they may ask. So on which of the following, so the center of mass will depend. So center of mass depends on mass of the particles and relative positions of the particles from the axis of rotation. And also in the case of distribution of, that means mass is continuously distributed. For example, a disk is revolving around a particular axis. So that depends on the mass distribution and shape of the body also. Okay, right. So now the center of mass is independent on frame of reference chosen to locate whatever may be the frame of reference we have taken. So from that phase of reference, we need to identify that center of mass. But because of choosing that frame of reference, so there is no difference in the case of location of the center of mass. Okay, and so mass need not be present. For example, in the case of ring, the mass is present at the center. So here at the center point, so in the case of ring, there is no mass. So mass need not be present at the center of mass. Okay, right. So and motion of center of mass is purely translational motion. So that means what it means, for example, whatever may be the shape of the body, if you applied force at the center of mass, then that the body will move in translational motion. So for example, we take an hammer. So this is iron rod. Now we are using a wooden. Now this is this we can take total. So in general, where the center of mass will locate, the center of mass will locate at the center. For example, at this point. But as this is iron, as this is wood material, so it is having less mass. So center of mass is located toward the region where the mass is more. So now that means the center of mass is at this position. So this is center of mass. Now if you apply force at this point, then what happens? This hammer will move in a translatory motion. So as we applied force at the center of mass. For example, if you apply force at this center point, what happens? So this hammer will rotate like this. If you're applying force in this direction, it will rotate in this direction. That means at center of mass, if you applied an external force, the body will set in translational motion. So that is the meaning of motion of center of mass is purely translational motion. So where we have to locate in the center of mass. So practically to understand that means we can say this point. At center of mass, if you apply a force, then the body will move in a translatory motion. So the motion of center of mass is according to Newton's second law. The center of mass is affected by only external force. This is based on this point they asked the question in NEET examination and also in JEE mains examination. The center of mass is affected by only external forces. Only external forces. So internal forces will have no effect on this motion of the center of mass. So inertial internal forces from action reaction pairs, hence they cancel with each other. So here one example is there. This example was asked in AIIMS examination. If a person moves from one end to the other end of a boat in still water, so then center of mass of boat man system does not changes. What is the reason? So here there is no external forces acting on the systems. As internal forces are forming action and reaction phase, they will cancel with each other. So because here there is no external forces, then we can say the center of mass does not changes. Okay, right. So this axis-EM directive formula, you know this one. Now the location of the center of mass. Why location of the center of mass? So from any one of the mass, if you want to locate this, these two are separated by distance d. Then we can say, so d1 is the distance of center of mass from mass m1. So d2 is location of center of mass from mass m2. Now we can write sum of moment of weights about center of mass is equal to 0. From this we can simplify, and then d1 is the location of center of mass from mass m1. So d2 is from m2 mass. Okay. So center of mass will always locate toward the heavier body. So the algebraic sum of moment of masses with respect to center of mass will be equal to 0. So these are the basic points, you know. So that is in the case of one dimensional. If it is two dimensional, means we need to take 2. That means say axis-EM, YCM, ZCM along any one axis. If 2 are there, means we need to find location of the center of mass as root over distance of center of mass x-CM square plus xy-CM square. In 3 dimensions we can take location like this. This is one of the example was given. Once go through that example. Okay, right. So in the case of center of mass, while solving the numericals, we have to use this method. So here we are using masses m1, m2, so on, mm. But for simplicity, while calculating the mass is difficult. For example, a disc is, sometimes they will give disc, sometimes they will give sphere, sometimes they will give cube, like that. Shapes, different shapes they will give. So if they given the shapes, and based on the shapes, so sometimes they will give area, sometimes they will give volume, sometimes they will give radius of the body. So if that is the case, so from that by using that for example sphere, so sphere radius was given. So if you know the radius to calculate the mass, we need to take 4/3 pi r cube, volume we need to take 4/3 pi r cube, and density we have to know. So from that we can calculate the things. So if that is the case, you may take very much time for solving the numerical. So without taking those into consideration, so based on the shape of the figure, so instead of mass, sometimes we can take area, sometimes we can take radius, sometimes we can take volume. So if that is the case, the mass of uniform plate is direct proportional to area. That means in the case of uniform plate they given, means in the place of mass they will give area. Then in the place of mass directly we can use area value instead of mass in the case of uniform plate while solving the numerical. In the same way, mass of the sphere. So what is the reason for that is, whatever the area mass we are finding from this area, by using this method, volume into density, area into thickness into density, we can calculate all these things. So numerator and denominator, all values will come. So these values are constant. So then this will cancel, because of that reason, in the place of mass directly we can take area without calculating mass. That will reduce your time. Otherwise it will take much time. And in the case of sphere, so volume is proportional to r cube. Then in the place of mass, we can take cube of the radius. In the shape of cuboid, cube or cuboid, they will give volume. Then instead of mass, directly you can use volume. So while solving the numerical. Okay. So the shift in center of mass in the different cases. So these are all location of the center of mass as we discussed. Now we are going to discuss shift in center of mass. So there is a shift in center of mass because of addition of matter, removal of matter, or change in shape of the matter, or change in distribution of the masses. So here addition and removal of masses is very important, but removal of masses related model of numericals are very important. As we discussed earlier in NTA papers, they asked many questions in the NTA papers from the topic of removal of masses and finding of center of mass of the remaining body or total body after removal of the masses. So here we have direct formulae for addition of masses. When you add the mass, that means the center of mass will shift towards a region where we have added masses. In the case of removal of mass, the center of mass will shift away from the region where we have removed mass. Okay, right. So those are the things. But while without using those masses and the distances or finding and volume, finding is somewhat a lengthy process. So in that case, we will use some shortcut method to locate the center of mass. For example, so this models we already discussed in NTA papers. So in the case of uniform disk having radius A. So this is uniform disk we have taken of radius small a. Now from this, another a small disk of radius B we have removed. Then what happened? So this is the distance between center of the hole, center of the removed part, and original center of mass. Original center of mass is represented by C. And so this is the original center of mass position, but it is shifted from this region to because this region. What is the reason this? So by removal of mass, the center of mass shift away from the region where we have removed the mass. So then this is the distance or shift in center of mass from original position O to O dash. Now, so instead of using those formulas and all, we can use this formula: x is equal to c b square by a square minus b square. What is c? So c is the distance between original center of mass and center of mass of the removed part, or center of the hole, or center of the removed part. So what is b? Radius of the small removed part. A is radius of the actual mass. Now this removal may be different. So sometimes they will give from end to at a distance of some 10 centimeter. Radius is some 20 centimeter. So from end of the disk at distance of 10 centimeter we have removed the mass. Then what happens? This C value will changes. Now, so in numerical they won't give this value, C value they won't give, but they will give this value. As radius we know, this is radius A, so this is C. So A minus C will give this distance. So this is the case. Now here total distance is A. From this C, without giving this C value, they will give this value. So from one edge of the disk we removed, from one edge of the disk at a distance of 10 centimeter, from a disk of radius 20 centimeter, we have removed a part. That means Y value given. That means how to get the C value? CL is nothing but A minus Y will give C value. So in the place of C, we need to take A minus Y. So in some cases, they will give from edge of the disk. So this is somewhat very important than others. Okay, right. So from edge of the disk, we have removed the part. Then A minus B. So this is total distance is A. This distance is B. We can use this formula for finding shifting center on this. So in the case of sphere, instead of square, we can use cube formula. That is, these are the cases we can do. Now, method of decomposition or method of the. Now here, for continuous mass system, so sometimes they will give a uniform rod. So the mass is continuously distributed, so our disk is rotating about the center of mass. So then they will give some value, linear mass density lambda by lambda value they will give. So from that we can write, so lambda is equal to mass by L, that means dm by dl. So delta m is equal to lambda into dl. So like that we can take and simplify the equation. This model of numericals we practice in regular classes can go through. So in continuous mass system we can use xm is equal to integral over x dm by integral over dm. In NTA paper also they given 2 questions from this area. Okay, so this example was given how they will do. So dm is equal to lambda into dx. There's lambda value is given as a plus bx. Okay, now by integrating method we can calculate the center of mass. Okay, right. So this is a very important model we can have. So how many number of blocks we can arrange like this, we can use this formula, shortcut formula, that is xn is equal to L by 2. This we already discussed in our regular classes. Once go through that application. Okay, right. This is called method of decomposition. This is very important case. Okay, now here this is, we are dividing this part as one part and this is another part. Now this is one location and this is another. So this is this point we need to locate as x1 y1. This is x2 y2. As usual, xcm is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. Like that. If it is like this, we need to decompose. We have to divide into parts and we have to apply the formula. So this is very easy method and very important method to locate the center of mass. Okay. These are all the somewhat points we can do them. Right, motion of center of mass. So velocity m1 v1 plus m2 v2. These are all direct standard formulas. We can go through it. So we say according to conservation of momentum principle, we can divide like this. Based on that, theta is equal to 0 and 90 degree. We have conditions for it. And momentum is also we can go through. So this is an important point. If two bodies moving towards each other due to mutual gravitational force of attraction between them. So what is the gravitational force? So gravitational force will be present at everywhere in the universe. In between two bodies, at any place there will be a gravitational force. So because of that, there is no change in center of mass. That is the point we have to. So here, so this is an internal forces. So then the position of center of mass of the system does not change. So if two bodies are coming together because of the gravitational force of attraction, then there is no change in motion of the, there is no change in position of the center of mass. So the position of center of mass of the system does not change. So how much this is going and this is also that much will come, then there is no change. So based on acceleration, we have one question we discussed in NTA papers, direct formula, similar formulas we have. And this is another important point. This was asked in JEE mains examination previously. Direct formula they asked in the examination. If a bomb moving in air explodes, so if bomb is flowing, for example, we have, so sometimes the bomb is projected vertically, sometimes horizontally. At highest point it is explodes into two parts, whatever it is. The acceleration of center of mass before and after explosion will be. So acceleration of the center of mass, what happens, is equal to g if no particle touches the earth. No particle touches the earth. Then what happens? Every particle is under an acceleration due to earth. That is called acceleration due to gravity. So every particle which is above the surface of the earth, so attracted toward the earth with an acceleration due to gravity. Okay, right. The center of mass of the fragments follow earlier path. If bomb is moving in mid-air, is exploded into unequal parts, then k of the parts touches the earth. So that means the k of the parts. For example, n equal parts. That means 10 parts. It is divided into 10 parts, and 4 parts are coming down. So this is according to conservation of linear momentum. So out of n parts, k parts touches the earth. That means what happen? So a1, is k into m. So that means each part which is moving with an acceleration 0. So this is touches the earth, means there is no acceleration. Because of acceleration due to gravity, it fall down and reaches the 1. And remaining part, what happen? So this part acceleration is equal to 0. What is the reason? They touches the earth. Remaining parts are in air, so they are under acceleration due to gravity. So n minus k into m is equal to this one. Now acceleration of the center of mass will becomes n minus k by n into 0. So this direct formula they will ask. Otherwise some parts is divided into some parts and then it is falling under acceleration due to gravity. So kinematic equations we have, like we need to compare with the kinematic equations with this. For comparing we need to know these are the very important points. So displacement can be replaced by angular displacement. Initial velocity represented by omega naught, final velocity represented by omega. Linear acceleration, this is angular acceleration. Force is replaced by torque. Linear momentum is replaced by angular momentum. Mass is replaced by the moment of inertia. So moment of inertia is also called rotational inertia. So by using these comparisons we can apply the formula related to rotational dynamics in comparison with the linear motion. Okay. So torque is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. So that is tau bar is equal to r bar cross f bar. So in 2018 NEET examination, directly r vector is given, force vector is given. They asked it regarding torque. But here what we have to identify is, and a bar cross b bar is equal to minus b bar cross a bar. Minus b bar cross a bar. That means a bar cross b bar will give negative of b bar cross b bar, which means direction of a bar cross b bar reverses. That means this is cross product is anti-commutative, which means direction changes. Because of the reason r bar cross f bar cross r bar, we can't write it as f bar cross r bar. That point we have to remember. R bar cross tau bar is equal to r bar cross f bar. That we have to. So if you have taken reverse f bar cross r bar means you will get negative value. Direction will be indifferent. Then in the options they will give negative, or they are talking about direction also. Direction they may give, or positive, negative they will give. So because of, even though numerical is very directly, simply we need to do cross product, but this sign also we need to apply. So r bar cross f bar only will give direct torque, otherwise direction will changes if you reverse f bar and r bar. So then we can get direction changes. In the options they will give directions also included in the options. That is the reason we need to identify very clearly that point. So tau bar is equal to r bar cross f bar. Okay. Right, moment of couple. Now in general, if you are taking one body, so at this point if you are applying force, in this case in external force F is equal to 10 Newton, and at this point F is equal to 10 Newton. Now the state of the body does not changes. Now these two forces are called balanced forces. So two equal and opposite forces are acting on a body at the same point. So then there is no displacement of a body. Now with the same two bodies are acting, and this point is in this direction, this is F is equal to 10 Newton, and at this point in this direction, this is also F is equal to 10 Newton. So now also these two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. But because of that reason, this block is moving in this direction, this end is moving in this direction. That means it will set in rotational motion. So in this case, two forces equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, the body in the state of rest. The same forces are acting at two ends of the body, and what happened? So this is set in rotational motion. That means, so these are also equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, but they are acting at different points of a body. So because of the reason it is rotating. Now these two forces are called couple of forces. This couple of forces are leading to turning of a body, that is called torque. It is called torque. So now, so couple of forces or torque we can define like this. So this is one force acting in this direction. This is another. So two equal and opposite forces are acting at two different points of a body. If two forces are acting like this, then there is no rotational body of a motion. That is called moment of couple. Moment of couple is numerically equal to torque. Okay. Right. If external force is equal to 0, then that is called translational equilibrium. External torque is equal to 0, then that is called rotational equilibrium. So according to Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to dP by dt, and the same force is replaced by torque, momentum is replaced by angular momentum by t. Now external force is equal to 0 means the body is in translational equilibrium. External torque is equal to 0 means it is called rotational equilibrium. Okay. Right. So principle of moments. So in NTA papers, they asked one question, we solved that question. So what is that? So this is a uniform rod. Now these two forces are acting F1 and F2. It is pivoted at the center. Now these two forces are acting downwards. This force is acting upwards. If net force is equal to 0, then that is in rotational equilibrium. So for translational equilibrium, N minus F1 plus F2 is equal to 0. That means translator motion. That means unbalanced forces are acting means the body is at certain translational motion. But here normal reaction is balancing both F1 and F2 because of pivoted at center of the rod. So that is called translational equilibrium. So for rotational equilibrium, so torque must be equal to 0. So what is torque? Now here force into perpendicular distance. This is F1 into D1. So force into perpendicular distance F2 into D2. Now, so for translational equilibrium, take the moment of moments about fulcrum. The sum of the are at the center or at pivoted point or fulcrum is the sum of the moment will be equal to 0. Then from this we can take D1 F1 is equal to D2 F2. Okay, from this we need to remember this is load arm into, this is called principle of lever, load arm. That means here we may take one pan at this point. So this is called load. Then if you are applying load into load arm is equal to effect arm into effect. So off mean load arm means the distance. Load means what is the weight we are adding. Okay. So these are the point. Mechanical advantage. So this was asked in previous AFMT exam. What is the mechanical advantage? So if you apply less force, but effect is giving more work. So that is called mechanical advantage. So here when you are taking, for example, so in general, if you are placing one block which is of 100 kg on the ground, so weight is nothing but mg. So this is equal to 100 into 10, 1000 Newton. So this is the weight of the body. For example, if you want to place this block at a height h, now you have to apply some external force. This is external force we have to apply. So how much external force we need to apply? So this external force is equal to weight of the body, that's 1000 Newton. So then only we can lift this block and place it at a height h. But without applying this much of force, that means 1000 newtons. If we applied 100 Newton to lift this block, this is called a mechanical advantage. Mechanically we are getting some advantage, so we need to apply 1000 Newton, but without applying the 1000 Newtons we have used the 100 Newton. For example, a heavy block is moving in on the ground is very difficult. But when it is placed in water, so we can easily drag this block inside the water. So what is the reason like that? Like that, when we are applying less force to lift a heavy block or heavy mass, then we can call it as advantage. Now because of that reason, so this is arm. Now we can apply pivot at this point. So this is load we have applied. Now to lift this block, now here we are applying force in this direction. So weight of the body is acting in this direction. So by shifting this fulcrum towards this or pivoting toward this point, so by applying very less force here, we can lift this block. So this is called mechanical advantage. So because of that reason, what we will take, so load arm, these two will be changes are very small. So F1 by F2 is equal D2 by D1. That means, so there we need to, by adjusting distance between pivoting point and this one, then we can easily lift this block. That is called mechanical advantage. If D2 is greater than D1, that means, so this distance is more. So to lift this block, what we are taking, we are shifting this pivoting point toward this, means, so this D2 is becoming greater. So if D2 is greater than D1, this is called mechanical advantage is greater than 1. So what is mechanical advantage? Small effort can be used to lift a load or larger load. This is called mechanical advantage. Okay. So in NTA paper, they asked one question regarding this toppling of a body. So toppling of a body is nothing but net anti-clockwise torque will be equal to clockwise torque. This is the only point we have to remember while solving the numerical related to toppling. Right. So moment of inertia. So moment of inertia, mr square, this basic formulas, you know. So this is very important. Moment of inertia depends on mass of the body, position of axis of rotation, nature of the distribution of mass. So on which of the following moment of inertia depends? So this question was asked in previous AIPMT examination. Okay. So moment of inertia of rigid body is independent on its angular velocity. Moment of inertia of rotating rigid body is independent on angular velocity. So depends on mass, position of rotation of the axis, nature of the distribution of mass, but independent on angular velocity of the body. Okay. So moment of inertia of a metallic body, because of thermal expansion, so metal may expand. Because of that, there is a change in distribution of mass. Because of the reason, which may depends on temperature. By changing the temperature, there is a change in distribution of mass. So because of the distribution of mass, there is a difference in the moment of inertia. Okay. Radius of gyration is the in the case of RMS speed, how we are taking, this is the RMS distance of center of mass from the axis of rotation. Like that we can take. So this is I is equal to mk square. From this we can write by using this. These are the standard expressions, so you know about this. So radius of gyration is also a distance. So this is SI unit is meter, CGS unit is centimeter. So in the old PMT examination, they ask what is the unit of radius of gyration. So the radius of gyration is the term is somewhat differently we have, but there is nothing but distance. Okay. So K depends on position of axis of rotation and also nature of the distribution of mass. So this is perpendicular axis theorem that we know. About any one axis is nothing but sum of the moment of inertia of remaining two axes. Parallel axis theorem, you know, moment of inertia body is nothing but the sum of moment of inertia about its center of gravity and the product of mass and perpendicular distance from the center of mass to that axis, the parallel axis. That is I is equal to I plus ma square. It's all, you know. Now, so here for finding different moment of inertia of different shapes, we have some sentence we can apply here to recall the moment of inertia of the function. So for that we can use first ring. Hollow disk. Next we can take hollow disk. Next, we can take not a disk, hollow cylinder. Hollow cylinder. Disk, solid cylinder, shell. Shell is called hollow sphere or shell. Next, solid sphere. Next, rod, axis across the end or axis across the center, and this is the end. Okay, right. So in general, I is equal to mr square, the basic formula. So for ring, we can apply direct formula, that is mr square. So moment of, so these are all the expressions with respect to axis. This is called natural axis, which means the axis which is passing through center and perpendicular to the plane of the body. That is the moment of inertia of a ring about an axis which is passing through its center and perpendicular to the plane of the ring. That is the meaning of, that is the formula of moment of inertia we are writing for this all the shapes. Now this is a ring, general formula mr square, that only we can take as mr square. Now hollow cylinder, if you are taking hollow cylinder like this, there is no matter. If you are cutting this hollow cylinder, what happens? You will get ring itself. So that is the reason we can take the same formula of mr square for hollow cylinder also. So for ring, hollow cylinder, basic formula as mr square. Okay. Disk. So for knowing the disk, so we need to use this sentence. D is in the place of D. From this D, we can take divide by S small. Divide by small number. What is, for example, 3 is there. 3 is divided by small number means 1. Next, 3 by 2. So by dividing with the 1, you will get same value. So then there is no change. So divided by small means 2 only. So next number is 2. So that is the reason we need to take mr square is divided by 2. So divide by small. So we have divided with small number. Like that we can remember. Next, solid cylinder. Solid cylinder, if you are cutted this disc, solid cylinder into different parts, you will get disc-scalar. So that is the reason. So for this also mr square by 2. For solid cylinder also mr square by 2. Ring mr square, hollow cylinder mr square, disc divided by small mr square by 2. Solid cylinder, if you are cutting solid cylinder, you also get same as a disc. So that is also having same mr square by 2. Okay. So this is a hollow sphere, or we can take it as shell. We have written because of like this. This S is reverse. You can get like this. That means 2. So this is C. This symbol is that means E. So for that purpose, we have written E like this. So by dividing this, you will get 3. This is a 3. Now we can write 2 by 3 mr square. 2 by 3 mr square. So S is reversed, we will get 2. E is reversed, we will get 3. So 2 by 3 mr square. That is for hollow sphere of shell. Next, yes, we need to reverse 2. P means we remember as punch. Punch means 5. That means 2 by 5 mr square. 2 by 5 mr square. So this is the meaning of 2 by 5 mr square for solid sphere. Now for rod, for knowing rod, we can write R. R is cut into 2 parts. Then you get this is 1, this is 2. 1, 2. Now like this, in the case of center, we can write mr square by 1, 2. 1, 2. mr square by 1, 2. For end, we need to take mr square by 1 plus 2, that is 3. So center means, that means moment of inertia of a rod about an axis which is passing through center and perpendicular to the rod, that is called mr square by 12. So if it is passing across the end, for example this is the rod, the first case is axis is looking like this. In the second case, axis is looking like this. Okay, so this is the scenario how we need to know, recall. That means we can easily remember than by hearting the formulas related to this different moment of different rigid bodies moment of inertia. Okay, so later with respect to remaining axis also, that is very simple. By adding mr square according to parallel axis theorem, I was given as a table in the last I was given the table. Then by knowing that table we can able to get all the moment of inertia. So this is the main, these are the main formulas related to moment of inertia. Once go through those. Okay, cross product and all we discussed already in the chapter of motion in a plane. Examples are very important regarding cross product. Example, tau is equal to r bar cross f bar, angular momentum r bar cross d bar, v and linear velocity and angular velocity, force experienced by the charged particle which is placed in a magnetic field. These are all we can take examples of these things. So angular momentum r bar cross p bar rb sin theta, L is equal to I. So P is equal to mv. In the place of P we need to take L. In the place of M we need to take moment of inertia. In the place of V we need to take moment. So like that in every equation we can able to write by comparison with linear motion. So external force is equal to 0 means translation equilibrium. External torque is equal to 0 means that is called rotational equilibrium. So in the rotational equilibrium, angular momentum will be remains constant. The change in angular momentum will be equal to 0. That is I1 omega 1 is equal to I2 omega 2. So this is the most important formula. Based on this, they asked many questions in the examination. So for solving this model of numericals, we know the values of this omega I1 and I2 moment of inertia values. So by comparing the table, we can able to know the moment of inertia of different rigid bodies. Okay, rotational dynamics, rotational kinematics, this also. So one time in the NEET examination, they asked this direct formula. This case, right? So if a rod is placed vertically in this direction, now it is placed vertically in this direction, what happens? It has some potential energy because of this weight of a body. Now it is falling like this. Is falling like this. Then what happens? When it is placed vertically, the center of mass or weight of the rod will be at the center of mass. This is nothing but mg. Now if you want to lift this rod, where we need to apply force? We need to apply force at center of mass. So center of mass at a distance of L by 2. That means at this point, what is the energy means? Mg into L by 2, mgh. In the place of h, we need to take L by 2. In the case of linear objects, we need to take height as the center of mass of the center of height. So that is the reason we have taken mg into L by 2. This is the potential energy in this position. Now it is falling. And that means it is falling like this. That means with respect to this end is at fixed point. This end is fixed. Now it is moving like this. This is called rotational motion. So half kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Half into, in the place of mass we need to take I. In the place of velocity we need to take angular velocity I omega square. So this is rotational kinetic energy. Now mg L by 2 is equal to 1 by 2. Potential energy is equal to kinetic energy. Now we can get the omega values and then we can get root over 3g. And this formula is directly asked in the examination. So work, force into displacement, on all work, power, these relations. Okay. Right. Next, an important area is rolling motion. Now, so first, rolling motion is the combination of translational motion and rotational motion. So translational motion plus rotational motion combined we call it as rolling motion. For example, wheel is rolling on the body. That means this body is, for example, after some time t, the wheel reached this point. What it means, the wheel translationally covered a distance of s by making number of rotations. For example, after 10 revolutions, it reaches this point, which means this is rotational motion, this is translational motion. But that means rotating, also translating. So one place to another place it is going. The body is going from one place to another place, means this is in translator motion, which is moving about a fixed axis. That is called rotational motion. So in the case of bicycle, when the bicycle in the state of standing position, we are rotating the wheel. That means bicycle will not go forward. But when you are going on the bicycle, then what happens? So wheel is rotating as well as moving forward. So this rotational motion, forward is going with, that is called translational motion. So rolling motion is the combination of translational motion plus rotational motion. So where we are talking as a rolling motion, the point of contact, what is there at this point, at that particular instant of time, there is no relative motion with respect to surface. So point of contact has no relative submotion with respect to surface in the case of pure rolling motion. Pure rolling motion. That means if it is displaying, means when this will displace, this point will displace when you apply a sudden brake. Right? So if it is in pure rolling, simply harmonically it is moving forward, which means it is in point of contact which has no relative motion with respect to surface. Okay. Now this is another important point. So in the case of points of rolling motion, angular speed will be same. Angular speed will be same, but linear velocities are different. That means if your body is rotating, your body is rolling in this body, then what happens? It has, for example, this is taking this body, it is rolling, which means it is rotating about going forward. Now the center of mass is moving with velocity. That means, for example, in general, if a sphere is moving with velocity v is equal to 10 meter per second, what it means? Sphere is the combination of number of particles, but we are saying the velocity of the sphere is 10 meter per second. What it means? That means this is the velocity of center of mass of the body. Center of mass of the body. Now, if you are taking any particle here, for example, this is center, it is moving with v means this is velocity of the center of mass. Now, as particle is taking on every part of the sphere, so this is revolving with same velocity. But when you are taking this point, then what happens? Its rotational or angular velocity is the same in this part. So what is the particle we are taking? But if you are comparing this linear velocity, so v is equal to r omega, even though angular velocity is the same. So this is the distance from the axis of rotation. So because of this value of r, so v value will depends. So that is the reason different points are having different linear velocities, but all the particles having same angular velocity. This is the point, very important points regarding rolling motion. Okay. When the surface has frictional force, torque will act on the rolling body due to frictional force. So now, for example, if frictional force, if it is rolling, frictional force is acting in this direction. Now the distance from the center of mass is some r. That means this force into r, or frictional force F into r, will give torque. Force into perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation will give torque. Okay. Right. So translational motion, in the case of velocity of translation motion is VCM, rotational motion is r omega. Linear velocity due to rotational motion is r omega. So for pure rolling, translational velocity will be equal to rotational velocity. That means this is a point we are given. So v rotational opposite to VCM at this point. This is VCM, velocity of center of mass. This is the opposite. When these two are equal, the condition for without slipping, very important point. VCM is equal to R omega. Okay. At point A, both are along the same. This is rotational velocity. This is VCM. So VCM is always directed like this. So now these two are in the same direction. We need to add. Okay. Yes. So uniform pure rolling. These are all cases already we discussed. VCM is greater than R omega means forward slipping, less than is backward slipping. So sometimes they may give radius values and whether the body is forward slipping or backward slipping. So that we need to calculate VCM and R omega. Then we need to compare. So based on that we can decide whether the body is in forward slipping or backward slipping or no slipping. So no slipping means VCM is equal to R omega. The VCM is greater than means forward slipping, less than means backward slipping. Okay. Kinetic energy, total kinetic energy of the rolling body. So most of the many times in the JEE mains examination and also in the NEET examination, they ask you the question from this concept, that is total kinetic energy of a rolling body. So rolling motion is the combination of two motions. One is translational motion and rotational motion. Translational kinetic energy plus rotational kinetic energy. Rolling will be translational plus rotational. So based on that we can calculate. In the place of I, according to moment of gyration, we can take I is equal to mk square. By substituting that we can get these values. This expression we can take. Now this is kind of rolling by, this one is very important formula we need to consider. So rolling by translation. So translational by rolling is equal to 1 by 1 plus k square by r square. Rotational by rolling motion is 1 by 1 plus r square by k square. So these are the very important ones. Okay. Right. For solving the numericals also we need to write the split. For example, for sphere I is equal to 2 by 5 mr square. So for what is the moment of r square by k square? Now we have I is equal to mk square. I is equal to mk square. Now we can write in the place of I, we can write 2 by 5 mr square, which will be equal to mk square. So now m cancel. That means 2 by 5 is equal to k square by r square. K square by r square. So I is equal to mk square. For solid sphere, 2 by 5 mr square is equal to mk square. M cancel. So 2 by 5 is equal to k square by r square. So by knowing the shape of the figure, we can calculate this 2 by 5. So later we can find ratio of rolling kinetic energy to translational kinetic energy, or translational kinetic energy to the rolling or rotational kinetic energy. Like that we can calculate those values. Okay. So on inclined plane we have different cases. Rolling of a body on inclined plane without slipping. So at the point of contact, velocity is equal to 0. This is point of contact, velocity will be equal to 0. So torque is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. Perpendicular distance is nothing but r. So force into perpendicular. Now we can use this direct formulas for solving the numericals. No need to go for all those things. What is the acceleration of the body is g sin theta by 1 plus k square by r square, and frictional force is mg sin theta by 1 plus k square by r square, and minimum friction for pure rolling on the inclined plane will be tan theta by 1 plus r square by k square. So these are the important points regarding rolling motion in an inclined plane. Okay, which can go directly with the help of this formula to calculate the numerical. So condition for body to roll without slipping is coefficient of friction should be greater than or equal to this value, tan theta by 1 plus r square by k square. Okay, velocity of the body, as we know from this expression, acceleration we have. So from this acceleration we can calculate this velocity root over 2gh by 1 plus k square by r square. So this 1 plus k square by r square is the very important term you will get in this case of rolling motion. We need to remember. Okay. So based on this, time also we can take. So time taken by the body to reach the bottom is t is equal to L1 plus k square by r square. So now in the NEET examination directly they ask this question. This we can know. If all the three are allowed to roll down from the top of an inclined plane, they will reach the bottom in the following order. So solid sphere is first, next disc or solid cylinder, next hollow sphere, next. So which one will reach the ground first? So based on that values we can go. T is proportional to 1 plus k square by r square. 1 plus k square by r square. This L is length of the plane of the inclined plane. For example, like this when taken means. So from here to here, this is the length. So for a given inclined plane, this will be remains constant. So this is angle that is also constant. That means T is proportional to root over 1 plus k square by r square. For a solid sphere, what is this? We have calculated k square by r square is equal to 2 by 5. 2 by 5. So that is based on moment of inertia. So in this case, it will be remains same. Then we can go with this one. So T is proportional to root over 1 plus k square by r square. It will reach the bottom in the following order. Like this, we need to remember these expressions. Okay, so if it is going how it is going, that formula we can go through these formulas also. Okay, so now later I was given all the important moment of inertia of all the shapes with respect to different axes. I was given in the form of table. We can go through this table for finding the values of moment of inertia of different bodies with respect to different axes of rotation. So this is the chapter of system of particles and rotation motion in a quick manner. Once in general will take so more than 25 clock hours need to complete this chapter in regular sessions. But for NEET examination, to recall all the chapters and all the concepts and formulae, we need to go like this to recall in a short manner. Okay, this is about the chapter of system of particles. Okay, thank you everyone.